Ooh. Ooh. Hello, lovely humans. This is Riki from Rikilikemagic, and she says hi. Hi, guys. So this video is going to be about 6 things that helped me through my nervous breakdown. Actually, someone in the comments from the last video said they call their version the event, which I loved. I thought that was excellent. So 6 things that helped me through my event. But first, I want to sincerely thank and be in awe for a second for how much love I received from my last video and how many well wishes. It was a really positive response, basically, is what I'm trying to say, and I really wasn't expecting that kind of sincerity and coming my way. Your comments were amazing in the last video, and private messaging me and just saying such lovely things, and I just I really can't get over it, and I want to really thank you so much. I also wanted to give kind of a sense of where I'm at with all of this, because I kind of don't want to ever give the impression that, oh, so I've taken 9 months away from making content and now I'm grand and now everything is grand, completely and utterly fine all of the time, and I will be fine forever. So I wanted to let you know what's been happening since. So when I put up the video and I received all of that amazing feedback and the kind words and everyone hoping I was okay and telling me that it was all okay, and I actually ended up feeling really anxious from all of the kind words. I was feeling very sick for the first couple of days of just the waves of wonderfulness, and I was feeling really ill and anxious sickliness, and I was like, why do you feel this way? There's only good things coming. Why are you feeling this way? You're just not. And this is what would happen 9 months ago when I was really into my channel. Anytime I put up a video, I'd feel good, and then receiving feedback was always really difficult for me, and I would feel really sick and anxious. And I realized this time round, when I asked myself, no, seriously, what's going on in your head and why do you feel so sick, was because I didn't believe any of the lovely things people were saying. You guys, were saying you're loved and you'll be okay and you're a good person, and I didn't believe any of it. And I was and the reason why I felt so sick was I was waiting for the one person who would confirm the opposite, which is what I actually think about myself. And this really isn't to be self-pitying. I just want to always be transparent and to say that it's not as if I make this video and I talk about my issues because now I'm fine and there will no longer be any problems. It's really because the issues still continue. I have a serious problem with self-worth and a serious problem with feeling good enough. Yeah, so even... And I forever appreciate it's non-rational, it's irrational, my reaction, because it was just so beautiful and wonderful how touching everyone was towards me. And while in a rational place, I completely and utterly adored that kind of connection, because that's what I strive for every day. But I just wanted to be honest and tell you guys that I'm still on a path of understanding that I am good enough. So that's what happened from my last speaking video, my last mental health video. Please continue to be nice. Please be nice. I just want to let you guys know that we're never a finished product. The journey is always going. The daily practice of rewiring yourself is always going. Now I'm like, okay, you can do this and you can connect with people, you can be vulnerable and you won't explode. Just kind of wanted to be honest. That's what can happen to some people. Praise can actually feel awful when they don't believe it themselves. Anyway, so I wanted to move on to share some things that helped me through my extremely dark period last year. Kind of share some specific areas of my life that I paid more attention to in order to help me clean out my wounds. Let's begin without further ado. Thing number one. No, let's just do it with the first two because they are without a doubt the main thing that kept me sane, somewhat sane, which is therapy and meditation. The best. Simply the best. Seriously, therapy and meditation. I'm still in therapy after 9 months. If you want kind of a story of what I went through, I'll put it up as a suggested video here, but I am telling you, I know therapy is stigmatized, so that's why I use the word a lot, even though there's still like a little click in my head of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't tell people that I'm on the bus to my therapy session, or maybe I shouldn't, because it's like this feeling of like, oh, what, you know, what's wrong with you that you need therapy. So I know it's like really, and some people think that they don't need it because their problem isn't bad enough. This person over here has had all of that happen to them, so they would need it more than me. Do you know, that kind of way? Like, I don't have some trauma that some people have that's extreme, but pain is relative. So like the stuff that's happened to me, I literally don't know what's like I can't even fathom what's happened to other people. So what's happened to me is just as scary as it could ever be, do you know? So going to therapy, I could make a whole 20-minute video on every single thing I'm going to talk about today, so I'm just going to try and keep it brief. Therapy is a place, an actual physical space, where you get to say the worst things you think about other people and yourself. And I don't know why, but it's one of the most powerful things a person can do, is really saying the things out loud that you're so ashamed of saying. It's a place to let your shame out. Shame is poison and it's toxic and it doesn't want to be spoken, and it's really what causes most horrendously toxic issues in people. And I have it in bundles. And you know what it is as well? A therapist is someone who's trained to not be what a friend does to you. So when you are crying or saying something very serious to a friend, their job is to comfort you. Then, I mean, it'd be weird if they didn't. And their job is to pat you and hug you and make you feel better. And if you don't feel comforted, then maybe you should get new friends. But that's their job, is to kind of tell you that you are okay and it is okay. However, that interrupts your like deep rooted emotions. They're not qualified to see those deep rooted emotions. But a therapist isn't there to comfort you. A therapist is there to hold space for you in order to get to the bits that no one else sees, and that no one else probably like is ready to see or wants to see, and it would change your relationship if they saw that. So it's extremely powerful. Clause, disclaimer, if you find the right one. So if you don't feel like that's happening, then don't keep going. It's not a fun place, but it's transformative. You look at yourself and you learn to either forgive yourself or accept yourself or change yourself. And I am all about the therapy. Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to say as well about therapy, another thing that's a problem with people starting it is a cost thing, which I completely understand. It can be costly. It has been costly to me, I will admit. And I completely understand anyone who's watching this who has real financial difficulty, and that's a thing. I completely understand if it's not really actually legitimately a possibility for you. However, there's sometimes in people's areas, there's like charities who give counselling sessions. There are price dropped psychologists, therapists and counsellors, so you can even look in your area if there's like a cheaper version. But I also would like to put out there that if you are someone like me who makes enough, I make enough to live a simple life, and it's more about there's a possibility in your life where you can redirect money to invest in something like this, then I would highly recommend it and encourage you. You know, like maybe not buying, I buy a lot of food and I eat out and stuff like that, so maybe redirecting that money into something else that would invest in your mental health. I just think that you're the thing that you're hanging around in all day, so you might as well invest your money in it rather than external things that kind of bring you pleasure but maybe not fulfillment. Like, you don't even need to have a apocalyptic problem. You know, if you're not feeling cool in your life, it's okay to go talk to somebody about it, you know? Now, on to meditation. If you have been following my channel for a while, you know I am well into the meditation. I've been meditating for over 2 years now. I meditate every single day, about 10-20 minutes a day, first thing in the morning and last thing at night. This is not sponsored. I would love, like, if I'm going to be sponsored by anyone or anything in the future, it would be this app. But I use the Calm app, and I have been for 2 years. Meditation has completely changed my life, and the Calm app has completely helped to change my life. Because as I said in my previous video where I'm talking about all this, meditation helps you recognize you even have thoughts about things. I think we race through our life with, thousands of thoughts about certain situations that pass in milliseconds. And meditation helps you learn to concentrate and focus. And it gives you this, even if it's minuscule, this tiny, tiny space between you and your thoughts. It has made me realize, and it's such a profound thing to realize, that you are not your thoughts. You are not the narrative you tell yourself you are. So what are you then? In the words of Eckhart Tolle, you are the person who sees that. So that person is a lot more vast and magic and capable of change and capable of happiness than you can even imagine. It's just your thoughts get in the way. But meditation, it helps you ground yourself into your body, and even for a split second realize that you're okay. The world is not spiraling around you. So top 2 tips. If you're going to stop watching the video right now, grand, because you've got therapy and meditation if you need help. Moving on. Okay, so number 3 is friends. Friends. And by that I mean real friends. And real friends is going to be different for everyone, what that means for you. But for me, it meant someone who I didn't have to try at all around. At all. At all. Like, I didn't have to be entertaining, I didn't have to be performative, I didn't have to be happy. And they would still deeply enjoy my presence and deeply enjoy. And like, being around someone like that made me happier. So I was easier to hang around with, if that makes sense. It wasn't exhausting. They gave me energy when I needed it, you know? And it's actually like only a handful of people, less than a handful of people that it turns out that are like that for you, especially when you're an adult. And also like something that helped me as a locus of noticing if it was right or wrong. And this is in any relationship actually, not just friends. Because I have a high level of anxiety a lot of the time, I think that's my default feeling. I think that's what I'm supposed to feel like all the time because I feel like it all the time. Since I could remember, I have this sweating, butterfly, crazy nervousness, lack of concentration, lack of focus. I find it difficult to listen in when someone's talking and things like that because I'm just like da 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 all the time. And I thought that was normal. I thought that's what you're supposed to feel like all the time. And only through like all of this really intense therapy did I realize like, oh, sorry now. So when I feel calm, that can be my normal. That may be the normal that I can choose. So I should be hanging around people who make me feel that rather than crazy anxious or the nervy, sweaty butterflies. Because there are people out there who consciously or unconsciously make you feel unstable around them because it makes them feel more powerful. And even if it's conscious or unconscious, doesn't matter. What matters is that do you feel calm and you don't have to make any effort around them? Yes, you do, cool, you hang around them more. No, you don't. Even if you don't know why you don't feel calm around them, you don't know why you feel anxious around them. Your body is telling you something. Your animal instincts are telling you something. So don't fucking hang around them. You don't have to hang around them. Like, you actually don't have to hang around them. It's great. Yeah, so that would be my number 3. Friends, really good ones. Even if it's one, hang out with that one as much as possible. You know, repeat the thing that's working. Sorry, my notes. I'm just checking my notes. Yes, number 4. Number 4 is actually extremely important. Number 4 is be honest. Being honest really saved me from the depths of depression. And obviously there are varying degrees of honesty that you need to be with certain types of people in your life. But I was living a life of performing for others, being a version of myself that wasn't one I was happy with for everyone, because I thought I had to be good all the time. I thought I had to be perfect all the time. I was trying to reflect what they would say about me back to them over and over again. So then you just become this weird, skewed, morphed version. So I started being more honest with people. I started being like, no, I don't want to go to that thing. And I'm not going to say because I feel sick. I'm not going to say because, oh, I am going to something else. I'm going to say that I'm having a really hard time right now and I just need to stay in. And this is the really important thing. It has to come from not a victim place, not a self-pitying, like, please pity me place. It just has to come from a very factual, like, not doing that, this is why. And then it was mad. I did not have one person question that. Maybe it's because people are scared of mental health. But I thought people would get really weird about it, and they didn't. And maybe they did and talked about me behind my back, but at least I didn't hear it to my face. So I'm cool with that. And I know this may sound weird, but the reason why I made an effort to be more honest in my life was because I think that would have been the antidote to me having not been honest for most of my life. Honest in the sense that I'm going to take my power back and tell you what's really happening. I think I gave bits of my power. What does that even mean? Bits of my, like, agency, bits of my autonomy, bits of, like, the stuff that I had control over. I just gave it to people regularly. Went, yeah, take it. Totally take advantage of me. It's completely fine. And it's fine until you've given 500 bits of yourself. It builds. So I was really trying to work on boundaries. I think that was another thing. I was trying to be honest, and that helped me build boundaries. And then the more boundaries I had around me, then the more love and energy I had to either give myself or to give the people who I really wanted to give it to. When you're as tired as I was, I had no energy to give the best people in the world me, because I was just like siphoning off bits of me all the time, and it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And then you just spiral like I did. Number 5, get off social media. Get off it now. Just stop, put the phone down. And this is specifically when I was going through all of the heartache, all of the terror. I noticed that I was going on to social media for answers. I didn't know that I was doing that until I knew I was doing that, until, noticing my thoughts. I was like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? You're feeling worse. Why are you feeling worse? And it's because I wasn't finding my answers. Maybe I was looking for the perfect quote that would take all the pain away. Maybe I was looking for the video or the person or the lifestyle, the message that was going to make me feel better, and it just made me feel worse. Like, people do talk about, oh yeah, because people are curating their lives online, and I feel like, oh, they have a better life than mine. It wasn't that aspect really. It was just that I was frantically looking for something that no one essentially is going to give me except for me. I need to generate it myself. So it really helped me to consistently remove social media. Like, when I was feeling bad, don't go to social media. I think that's the thing I want to offer, is when you are feeling bad, do not go to social media. Don't do it. Go on social media when you are prepped, when you're strong enough to go on social media, because it's a shark tank mixed with really pretty fish. So you don't know what you're going to come across, and if you're not ready, then you can be devoured instantly. It's very scary when you're going through a hard time. I really implore that just when you're feeling bad, don't go on social media. Do real things. Either, well, TV isn't real, but at least it's just kind of a fictional packaged thing that you can watch. But like, being around people, if you can stomach it, that's real connection, real, like you're reading someone's body and tone in the room. That's real. Do that. Go into nature. That's real. Stretch, do things with your body. It's real. Do real things when you're feeling crappy. It connects you back into life. Maybe the present. Maybe you're trying to get into the present moment, Social media is like the antithesis of that. So that would be a tip I offer. And then that kind of ties into, like, all the real connected stuff ties into my 6th one, which is health. Focus on your overall health as much as you can. I know when it gets really tough, it's very difficult to even think about taking care of yourself, but any time you have a better day, anytime you have an hour of clarity, start doing things for you and your health rather than like getting other things done for work or whatever. I've started going to a personal trainer now for the last 1.5 years, I think. It's really, really amazing. I think it's just even the choice that I've made to spend an hour on myself, just making my particular body better. It feels like you're honoring yourself. Feels like you're doing yourself justice, which is really cool. It's good for like self-esteem. Eating well, I mean, a myriad of reasons why it's good to eat well. But I think it's always just this mindset of like, hey, you're maybe worth taking care of, and constantly feeding your mind that is really, really positive. So yeah, have a look at overall health. So mind, body, spirit. What can you do to make your mind better? What can you do to make your body better? And it, like, so small, teeny tiny steps, always teeny tiny steps. For example, just say like, I will drink 500 milliliters more of water every day. Do you know, start seriously small, because if you go like gung-ho, that's not habitual for you, so you're most likely to fail and then you feel crappy about yourself. So start like so tiny, and even like that 500 milliliters more of water that day, that's better than what I did yesterday. Go me! It's all about tricking yourself. You just have to be a master of tricking yourself. Yeah, so those are my 6, but I kind of wanted to wrap it up in the bow of like, I was really thinking about what is needed. I have been living 28 years of my life a certain way, so it is going to take gargantuan efforts to transform it in the way that I want to. I literally, parts of me I want to be the exact opposite, and because I know it will completely change me, and the likelihood I will achieve the things that I want to achieve will like astronomically increase if I really focus on these things about my psychology. So I really, really want to belabor the point that the things that are going to get you to change, if you want to change, is patience, bravery, and daily hard work. Like, not just daily practice, daily really hard work. And some days it won't be as hard as others, and then some days will be like, oh look, there is a giant dragon in my living room because it's in my head and I need to slay it today. So those 3 things are really, really like, are the bedrock. They're the foundation, I think, is patience with yourself, kind of tied in with a bit of forgiveness when you fail, because you will fail, and you'll fail enormously, regularly. Bravery, which is something I have a lot of, and I didn't realize. I'm a very courageous person, and I have anxiety problems, which is based in fear, so I'm afraid all of the time. But the thing is I am ready to face it whenever I need to, and I will do it. And then daily hard work, like every single day, you kind of have a little conversation with. That's why I meditate in the morning and things like that. Like, you have a conversation with yourself daily of like, you know what you want, you have your goal, you know how you want to live in the world and exist in the world. Today, you're going to try your darndest. Any situation that comes to you, how are you going to navigate it with your new set of values, or like moving towards the new set of values that you want? Oh yeah! If you made it this far, you're a legend and you're class. And if you enjoyed this video, you can like, you can subscribe, you can ring the little bell that gives you all the notifications, you can share it with your friends, and you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. So remember, you are who you choose to be, and you're part of something bigger and deeper than yourself. And Shabby says bye.